right, folks, we are back here on WLTH 1370. We're coming in for the home stretch.
Yeah.
It's 17 to the top of the hour. And I definitely wanted to talk about this because we talked about arson and we talked about police brutality and we talked about a lot of these things. It's important to remember, folks, that, you know, regardless of what you hear about the city of Gary and our community, that there has always been a steady stream of talented people to come out of this place. Always. Going back to Carl Malden. Okay, going back to Frank Borman, who, you know, one of the astronauts. Going back to, obviously, the Jacksons and Denise Williams and Raj from What's Happening Now. My fellow Emersonian, of course.
You know, I've got a friend.
Yeah.
Who I went to school with, a guy named David Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
He now lives in New York City. He's acted in several plays on and off Broadway. You know, I don't know if it's something in the water, something in the schools that we used to have. Yeah. Something. There's a whole lot of talented people come out of Gary.
Yes. My man Freddie Gibbs, too. He almost won a Grammy this year. Most people thought he was going to win, but they ended up giving it to Nas as sort of like a lifetime achievement because I don't think they gave him one all those years. But, you know, yeah, you're right. We've had a lot of very talented people to come out of here. And another one is, and I didn't even know about this until I heard David Dennison talking about this on Tuesday, Mia Neal. Mia Neal, the hair department head for the film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Yes, she's making history alongside her colleague Jamaica Wilson as the first Black women to be nominated in makeup and hairstyling in Oscar history. Part of her job was nailing down the look of Ma Rainey, who was played by Viola Davis. I have not seen the movie, but I heard it was good. Now I will watch it, knowing that Mia Neal was a part of it. What made it difficult that there are only about 7 photos of Ma Rainey, and Neal said that she can only find 2. Working with this limited information, she found out that she wore horsehair wigs and, you know, created from there. This woman, Miss Mia Neal, graduated from Horace Mann High School in 1997. She attended Maryville Beauty College, went to Columbia College in Chicago. Then she enrolled at Jackson State, a historical Black college in Jackson, Mississippi. While working at a MAC Cosmetics counter in Jackson, Mississippi, a co-worker of hers actually encouraged her to apply for the 9-month wig program at Juilliard. Yes, in New York City. And so from there, Miss Mia Neal became a veteran of New York stage productions and films. She has previously worked as the hair department head for Uncut Gems with Adam.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's a really good movie with Adam Sandler about him being a compulsive gambler.
Really?
Yeah, about him being a compulsive gambler who is at the same time a high end jeweler, and his gambling habit puts his jewelry business at stake. It's a very, very good movie. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah. So yes. On Sunday, I don't know if they'll show the Oscar for this on TV. They probably won't show the makeup Oscar. I don't think they will. But I was thinking about if they were going to show it on TV, I would try to watch and see if she wins because I always try to support people from this city,
right,
and Lake County in general. I mean, let's not just limit it to Gary. We're listening to people in East Chicago.
This is true.
Yeah, we just had the guy call from Portage. The brother called from Portage, and the south side of Chicago as well. This region has been a very fertile region. Some of the most talented musicians to ever come from the south side of Chicago to Gary to East Chicago. I mean, Stevie Wonder used to live in East Chicago. We got the Jacksons from right down here on Jackson Street. Denise Williams. Who gets a lot of play on this radio station. Hold on, caller. You know, like I talked about, Freddie Gibbs, who was nominated for for a Grammy this year, one of the most talented rappers on the planet, maybe the most respected at this point. And just so many talented people. Glenn Big Dog Robertson. I was just telling somebody I was talking to online that I saw him when he was in high school at Roosevelt. My father took me to go see him when he was a senior, and he was the best high school player in America. And man, did he live up to that billing. Let me get this caller. Hello, caller.
Hey.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, Doc.
Yes, yes. Hey, I had to call.
Yes.
I see.
You're speaking of all the greats and the first. And I would like to, along with it, let you know, I'm the first black man in America by way of Dr. Martin Luther King who acknowledged fully and see the dream being character, little black boy and little black girl and little white boy and girl holding hands and being here in the promised land. And so I'm just letting you know, because you're pointing out all of the first, the greats in here, that thing that happened to Gary. So I'm the first African American in America, right here from Gary, that acknowledged the full extent of Dr. Martin Luther King. He wasn't in some type of delirious frame of mind. He stood in a place where Moses stood, that was speaking to a people who had come out of bondage, that needed to be made equal at a time when he could speak to every nation under the sun. So I'm here. So you put that on your list. Say, man, and we finally, the first person that by way of Dr. Martin Luther King have reached the promised land and fully glorified God for that, for God, and thanking God that he gave him the privilege to be in Gary, Indiana, to be part of something like the first mayor. So, you can get my autograph when you meet the first black man that got to the promised land by way of Dr. Martin Luther King, fulfilling all of his description. I'm here, and I think I'm the first one that acknowledged it fully and fully bless God and thank God and teach my children and everybody else. He wasn't just speaking out of his mind. We're really here. And I think God will be real happy if we realize that he put Martin Luther King there to say what he said.
All
Not
right.
for us just to
All
look
right,
at
thanks,
it, not
Doc.
fully get.
All right,
Okay.
thanks, Doc.
Hey.
Thanks for your call. Yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of black people have loved Martin Luther King for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'll take his word for it. Let me get this other caller. Hello, caller.
Hey, gentlemen, again. Hey, one guy that a lot of people don't talk about, Mark Harmon from NCIS. His dad came out of Horace Mann, Sound Harmon.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he come out. He's from Gary, but his dad was.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true.
All right.
And then, of course, you had the Carriage brothers, so also, quite a few others. I mean, you mentioned Carl Malden, you mentioned a few others that's out there. But it's been something that we haven't really talked about, that's out there, And I think Bill Fleming used to be sports announcer was from Gary also. So it's quite a few people
Alex
out there.
Karras.
Yeah, we have a lot of history. We should bring that up, man.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
put that into Gary's history. Who all has come out of Gary. And we don't promote the city. We don't promote the people like we should.
Right.
All
right. Thank you for your call. Got to get to these other callers, but we just talked about Diane Dunham, who was the first black gymnastics champion, national black, and she just died, and she was from Gary. Nobody talked about it until she died. Hello, caller.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
You know why? Because her mother came out of school with me.
Really?
Calvinita Carter, yes. Matter of fact, the funeral was over here at Trinity Church. She lived in Chicago.
Yeah.
But her funeral was right here in Gary.
All right.
Okay, but what I really want to say is two things. Winston Garland.
Yes.
Oh, he has a son that's playing pro now.
Yes, you're right. Darius Garland, one of the best young players in the NBA from right here in Gary.
Now, what happened was, being an alumni from Roosevelt and being a part of the Roosevelt Alumni Association, when Winston his team would play the Bulls, we would always get tickets to go over. So we were on the Bulls list. Mm-hmm. And who comes along but Michael Jordan? Mm. Now, we already on the list ahead of a whole lot of people. So when he came along, and people wanted to know, well, how you all get tickets to the Bulls? Well, we had nosebleed seats, but we had them, and we had them up until. So that's one way we. And now, Glenn Robinson. Now, when he was playing for, what was it, Milwaukee or whomever? Yeah. What he did, he bought 50 seats and gave them to the Roosevelt alumni to bring students over. And I didn't know he had to sign a contract there every year, I guess. He did it so many years for Roosevelt, and then I think he kind of branched out to other schools. So we were able to take, thanks to Glenn, we were able to take some of Roosevelt's students over once a year to see him play. That's all from being a part of the Roosevelt. One thing, having somebody from Roosevelt playing pro, and then being a part of the Roosevelt alumni. I just want to share that with you.
All right. Now, thank you for your call. We got to get to this last caller before we wrap up. Hello, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey.
Make it quick. We got to wrap up.
Okay. It's good to recognize the greatness of Martin Luther King, but it takes no courage to do that after he's dead.
Yep.
The courage came when he was alive. Very few people had the courage to speak positively about Martin Luther King because they think that Martin Luther King was some kind of a softy, but Martin Luther King was a black militant.
Yeah, he was. Well, thank you for your call. You're right, sir.
The funny thing, and I only learned this recently, King actually did not want to be a minister. Really? He wanted to be a doctor.
I can see that.
He's an incredibly intelligent young man. He graduated from high school. I believe he was 14 or 15. Yeah. But his dad was a preacher. And at the time, if you were a black man and you wanted to have a significant impact, there weren't that many fields you could go into.
Right.
And being a preacher was one of them. But he had always said if he'd have had his druthers, he would have preferred to have been a doctor.
I can see that. I'm sorry, caller. We got to mop up here. It's the end of the hour, so maybe we'll get you next week. I'm always happy to talk about something positive. And Gary, and best of luck to Miss Mia Neal, who I know still has a lot of family here in this region. Uh-huh. And for all the young people listening out there, know that you can do that. Okay,
that's right.
You ain't got to be the greatest singer, basketball player, drummer, whatever, dancer in the world. You can put wigs on Viola Davis and get an Oscar that way. Mm-hmm. All right, folks. It's time for us to get up on out of here and boogie before Marion Williams comes out and throws us out personally. Oh. Yes. You can chop it up with me on Twitter at The Chemist Lives. The Chemist is spelled with the K as I am a product of the Gary Community School System. We can talk about politics, music, sports. You can tell me how terrible I am at this job.
You be lying, but that's okay.
Or you can listen next Friday right here, 6 to 8 Central Standard Time with Reverend Campbell. Where can they find you at?
Every Sunday, 9 a.m., St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church, 11 a.m., Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. Or just hunt me down on Facebook. I do drop through there every now and again and say something. Yes. Maybe witty, maybe profound, maybe silly, but something.
Okay. So
most of the time you can come look at my kids' pictures, though.
Yeah. So for station owner, Marion Williams, station manager, Natalie Ammons, Reverend Delwyn Campbell, I am Scott Cannon. This was Issues and Answers on WLTH 1370 AM. God bless the working class. God bless labor and Rev.
God bless you.
Yes.